Hi everyone, welcome to Amaranth. These are general messages for the collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter placements. Let's get into it. So the first card you have for today, Aries, is the Three of Trees. There are 3 trees out here, 3 beautiful, tall Joshua trees that are merging with the cloud in the sky. And if you look at the shape of these Joshua trees, it actually feels like, they have their arms raised up and they're holding the weight of the tree above. That's how it feels like. I feel, and also if you look at the landscape, it's quite dry, right? It's a desert land, cracked surface, cracked earth. And then there is this way which is going, it's kind of a crooked way, winding way. It's not a straight path. And then, but even though it's a desert, there is still some purple blooms Joshua trees, which is quite the contrary of, foliage or trees that grow in dry lands. But they're still growing. So even though it's a dry land, right, which is supposedly short of resources, but these trees are able to pull what they need, get what they need, right, from the surface below. They're able to get it. So for some of you, Aries, you might not be having all the resources, or you might feel like you don't have adequate resources, but you're still growing tall. I feel these Joshua trees is you, synonymous to you, how tall, how much far and wide things can grow, even with the smallest or lesser number of resources. And I feel this is your situation. So whatever this is growth, whether it's your personality or your, whatever you have started in your career, your business, a habit of yours, or some kind of skill. All of that is, it's growing out there. We can see it. The results are visible. So things are shaping up for you, and especially, major planet transits now are Jupiter in Leo, which is your 5th house of creativity. So there could be a lot going on in your creative sides. Maybe you're getting over creative, or you're creating things. Could be businesses also around creative themes. So, and also there is Mercury retrograde, which is happening in your 4th house of Cancer, right? So a 4th house of Cancer is the house of family, home, and things like that. So there could be, and because of the retrograde energy, it's like some things around that resurface and coming back. So some things you might be thinking about in regards to your home or your family. Either you receive some, if you do like chat, or there is some miscommunication, which Mercury does create, be sure that you reply with the right sentiment, because Cancer is like a emotional depth sign, right? It's emotional. EQ. So make sure that you are reading, and you're not reacting emotionally. Just something to be careful about. This can also be, home, in the sense that wherever you are, it can also be your neighborhood, your friends, your family. Especially if you're, not in a place where your family is, it could be your extended family, which are your friends, neighborhood, and all of that also. Be mindful, like not to be reactive in those areas as well. Now, I feel that there is definitely, and there is a winding road, which is the road forward to it. It has been winding. It has not been a straight road. So you have been through it. You have traversed, like navigated ups and downs and every kind of situation, to get to this point, I feel. So for some of you, this could be creative endeavors that you're taking on or growing. This can also be, Three of Trees. This can also be you traveling to some dry places, like desert places, or, it could also be something to do with a land in these dry places and deserts. I don't know if you're avid desert, I don't know, you visit there, or you have something to do. There's a lot of photography and all of that happens. So for some of you, you could be capturing pictures and all of that in regards to wildlife or desert areas, or just It could be that you are relocating, moving, buying property, home, assets in some kind of dry areas, or you feel like, it's a dry area, and which means that there is not much development which has happened over there. So for some of you, it could be that as well. Yeah, so this is growth energy here, Aries, for you. Definitely there is, there is growth, there is results, there is, if this is something you start a few months back, I feel that things are starting to show up for you. You will see some growth, some success, some orders, some sales, some promotion, some acknowledgement, and things like that. Now, Three of Trees is also a collaborative energy. So this could be you're collaborating with two more people, or it could be some more people, a group or something like that. You could be investing together. You could be starting a business together. This could be a team effort. This could be your team where you're working and you're creating something big or nice. This can be a travel companion, right? You traveling with a group. This could be business ideas that you started as a group, or you purchase something as a group. But it's like also, an energy of international, international growth and expansion. It's like growing far and wide is also the vibe that I pick up from this. So something, maybe you have a business that is in different cities or in different countries even. And you could be seeing the results of that. You could be establishing business, collaborating with international vendors and things like that. But it's like something that you have a long-term plan for, something that you want to work on for a long, long time. So it's a nice collaboration where you plan everything. There's documents, there's process, and things like that. Now, I also feel that, I feel that for some of you, this could be online as well. Something kind of a project that you started online. You're working with people, like a collaborative effort. There's a lot of sites and portals these days where people come together and they collaborate, on online projects. And those people that you're collaborating with could be at far off lands. It could be distant in terms of cities, or it could be distant in terms of international borders and countries. That's for some of you. The next card you have, Aries, for today is Earnest Elephant. And it says gentleness, temperance, goodwill. Further on it says, pillar of patience and kindness, bless my heart with your gentle nature. Yeah, so there is a cute little elephant out here, very playful energy, raising its trunk, raising its tail. Elephants are definitely strength symbols. They're also good luck charms. They're also, in some cultures, revered because they're known to be, remover of obstacles. Some cultures and communities believe in that. There's blueberries surrounding it. Blueberries are good for health. Berries in general are good for health, antioxidants and all of that. So for some of you, it could be berries. You could be growing berries or eating berries or some interest in berries. It's a night theme. It's a dark night theme. So here I feel that, there is temperance, which means that there is taking a middle ground, not overreacting, not being too loud. It's like tempering everything, right? Finding the balance in your day-to-day, whether in how you react or how you carry out your day-to-day activities. Create a balance in all of it. Take a middle ground. Don't swing to any extreme in any situation, in any way. So definitely there is kindness to people. There is gentleness. There is goodwill. There is donation. You could be donating goodwill. You could just be doing things, volunteering. You could be helping people out. There's philanthropy energy with the goodwill. There is also like an energy of being patient and kind while you wait, or just being patient in general. Being patient itself is a high virtue, a high quality by all means. Um, so I feel that this energy is about, you have the Three of Trees, which is about growth and expansion. And I feel that actually these are the qualities that you need to embody as you work through a growth and expansion energy with the Three of Trees. So definitely there are things coming, there are rewards, we saw the growth which is happening for you. I feel there are rewards. There could be small rewards, sweet rewards like the blueberries, which I feel that's what is synonymous of for the Three of Trees. That blueberries in this card are the sweet small rewards that you could be seeing in regards to the effort and the growth that you are starting to see. Now, I'm also picking up an energy of being patient through this, being also strong through this, because, the energy of elephant is of strength, but it's a cuteness with it, so it's a softer energy. It's not like a full-grown adult elephant that are also very cute, but this is because a baby elephant, there is a softness in that energy. So you're strong, but you're not rude or harsh. You're strong. You have that inner strength. For some of you, it could be physical strength that you're building on, because this is a baby elephant, right? So it could be some kind of physical strength that you're trying to work on, through exercises or some kind of, workout that you're taking to. But it's like a softer workout, a slower workout, a slower health routine you could have taken up, to grow your strength. Now I'm also getting an energy of donations, of helping, of volunteering, of being kind and nice, helping people out in your day-to-day, in the small acts, in the big acts. Could be philanthropy. The only thing with this energy is to take the middle ground, right? To not swing into extremes. So if you're helping, just don't bend over backwards, because there is temperance energy with this, which means you need to take a middle ground, not extremes. I'm also getting that, because the elephant, baby elephant or adult elephant energy is a good luck charm. It's also a energy that removes obstacles. This is like a angelic divine help energy out here, So there could be the divine, and that's working through, that's helping you that's, helping you work through obstacles, that is lifting up obstacles, because we saw the winding road in the Three of Trees. Winding road is because there are obstacles, right? Otherwise, it would have been a straight road. So those are the obstacles that you are able to navigate, and you're able to you're able to clear because of this earnest elephant energy, So the divine is helping you work through obstacles out here. So you'll see like impossible situations, miracles that are, that are trying to work out where you lost hope, where you don't have any hope. There is some hope now in those situations. Now, for some of you, because also of the major planetary transits, which especially Mercury retrograding in your 4th house of family, of home, there could be some kind of situation that you're trying to navigate or work through. So this energy is asking you to be patient, to be kind, to be gentle with any kind of a difficult situation. There is no need to get worked up. Handle it calmly, patiently, and you'll see those sweet rewards. So gentleness, kindness in your communication, in all of the issues, big and small, is needed. The patience is needed. Now, for some of you, I also feel that there is a lot of growth and expansion which is happening right now for you. So while it's happening, especially Aries because you ruled with Mars, sometimes you could get temperamental. It's like, be mindful of that. Like you're growing, so be mindful of your energy. How you interact and react to people. You stay kind and patient at all times. You stay gentle at all times. So that's going to be very rewarding, because if you stay calm, patient, cool, calm, collected during growth, and while you're climbing the corporate ladder or you're experiencing growth, if you're humble and gentle during those times, that's going to bring you a lot of rewards. Those are those qualities, if you are able to carry forward through your growth and expansion and at all times, that's going to be rewarded. Those qualities are going to be rewarded. And the last card for today, Aries, you have is a message from the fairies, and it says divination. It says, embrace your powers of divination, which are especially strong right now. You have the ability to see your current situation with crystal clear clarity. This fairy wants to remind you that you can use divination to help you through challenging circumstances. Your energy is strong at this time, and you have the ability to see things that others may not. Perhaps someone close to you would benefit from your spiritual gifts. Anything can be used for divination purposes. These cards, crystals, a crystal ball, the flames in a fire, the stars in a sky, water, anything. In fact, anything that opens a psychic doorway to be used and will enable you to see backwards and forwards in time. Divination also brings you fully into the present moment. It's not about fortune telling for thrills. Although fortune truths or although future truths can be revealed, it's more about working with the divine powers that reveal what will help towards spiritual progression for you and for others. Divination is a serious spiritual practice and isn't something to be dabbled with for amusement. You might experience visions. You might experience visions or come to know things that need to be handled delicately and with empathy when sharing with others. If you feel confident you could give readings to friends and family, you may feel drawn to do this professionally too. If this feels right, seek the guidance of someone who has been working with divination for a while and whom you respect. You can use divination alongside any other spiritual technique. So definitely there is a huge psychic energy out here. So for those of you that are already practitioners of divination, there is an energy of like you can see, you have the visions, you can help people, your friends, family, navigate through challenging circumstances. This is also for self-growth, development, for professional, even for professional, even for spiritual growth and development. Divination is very useful. So for some of you, you could be starting up new. For some of you, you could be learning, having a mentor. So it's a good way of spiritual growth and progress. So Aries, those were your messages, and hope they resonated with you. Now moving on to the sign of Leo. So the first card you have for today, Leo, is the Fighter. Okay, so it looks like a martial arts person that's has a sword, or it has a sword. This person also has antlers on the head. So antlers is like communication with the divine. It's also kind of a protective energy. This person has out here in the snow. There are plants that are plants and mountains that are all covered in snow out here, and these beautiful lights. I think it's the aurora borealis light. So some of you could be in those areas watching aurora borealis lights, or in snow areas. You're trying to protect yourself, your health, you know, so you could be protecting yourself from weather. This is a protective energy. So this could be protection from weather. There is also like being really bold because this person is like, not fully clothed even in this cold weather. So it's like even if things are cold, this person is able to manage themselves. So coldness could be weather as well. It could be like, I don't know, in really cold places that you're trying to stay safe and protect yourself and your people from. This could also be, your environment. If you're feeling a little bit of coldness from people, this could be, protecting yourself from that kind of an environment as well. It's like you're bold. You have the courage. You have the strength. Because of the antlers, there is a protective energy. Like you're in a defense mode out here. I don't know if your environment is such, or your place of work is such, or in your family, or in your house or neighborhood, there is something which is not sitting well out here. You might be protective and defensive against that. Now, the planetary alignments also, Jupiter is entering your first house, especially for the Leo risings, you ascendants. First house, Jupiter is growth, expansion, your personality, your whole external self, internal, all of that goes to a lot of growth. You could be learning, you could be shifting things up in your personality, taking development courses, and things like that. So it's a lucky time for you, here, Leos. I also, and also with the Mercury in retrograde, Mercury is retrograde in Cancer, which is your 12th house. 12th house is a little bit of a, it's the house of Pisces. It's the house of data which is not revealed, but also of spirituality. So, so in regards to spirituality, Mercury is retrograde. Some themes could play out in regards to spirituality for you. It could also be in regards to data which is not visible or not available, or you're not aware of it. So, like half things might just come up, so you will need to be very careful. Like, for example, if you're at birth, somebody gives you some information, that might not be the most accurate information. So with the Mercury retrograde in your 12th house, you will need to do some kind of a due diligence to see if the person said the right thing or not. Because Mercury retrograde in that house is a little bit of a twisted energy, of misunderstandings, of people saying the wrong things, or you believing the wrong things. And things like that. So you will need to do your diligence. You need to do a little bit of research to, to see if the person or the data or the document or any kind of message that you receive is actually the right information, or is it the, is it the right information? So you will need to verify things until Mercury goes direct, which is in the next 10 days, it's going to go direct. So until then, you will have to be very careful about what you hear, what you believe, what you see, what you believe, and things like that. Now, Aurora Borealis, this is the light which is there behind the mountain. For some of you, you could be going to places that you're able to view the sky from there in the nighttime. And, you might be protective of how you get there, or if it's, some kind of a mountain place or national park or something which is like a desert land that you have to navigate, then just be careful. You definitely need to be protective of yourself, your family, the group, or if you're traveling with a group, So there is protection energy that you have to be, you have to be protective about your own self-safety and health in those areas. Now, for some of you, this can also be about, the martial arts. This person is a martial arts person. So, or it could be something you're learning about defense, self-defense, some kind of martial arts, or some kind of training. You're undergoing this to be training, personality development training, or some kind of, maybe this is also a kind of, competition that you are preparing for. Mm, I feel like this could be some kind of a competition. Like, even though this person is, the only person in the picture out here, there is nobody else, but he's definitely looking at someone and raising the sword, even the person is not visible in the picture. So for some of you, this might just be like a practice session that you're trying to prepare for. You're not really out there and the competition right now, but you're preparing for it. For some of you, it could be preparing for some kind of a competition or sports event and things like that. Now, for some of you, this could also be about, like, it's a little bit of a 7 of Wands energy also that I pick up, like standing up for yourself, defending your ideas, defending yourself, or your family, or the underdog in some way. For some of you, it could be advocates of ideas that you believe in for yourself or for the community, for your family, and things like that. It could be in the you could be in the law enforcement courtrooms and things like that, where you have to defend as a lawyer, or in those professions where you're actually standing up for people, defending them in some way. Yeah, I'm also getting like, standing up for anything that was not fair. Like, if, like, for example, if you were overlooked, you're in a job, or if you were overlooked for a promotion, you're like, you had the courage to go negotiate. You're like, I did this, that, and, the other person got it, and I did not. So you have the courage now to talk about those things to your bosses too. Or if it's a business, you have to talk to vendors. So you have the courage, like, oh, why did you raise the price on this? That's unfair. You raised it by so much amount, and I want, things like that. So you're trying to negotiate, renegotiate, or you're standing up against things that you felt were unfair, in business or in your workplace or in any other situation as well. Maybe you were like, blamed for a wrong thing, or it'd be fingers are pointing at you for a wrong thing. You're standing up for that. And I feel that, if you negotiate with, skills, you will be able to work it out. Things will work out in your favor. The fighter, yeah, you will get justice. The sword is for clarity. So if you have the clarity and you're standing up and you have the right data to back it up, then I feel that you will win the situation. Now, sword is also about communication, so it's also about, communicating, the fighter. So you could be using your words to stand up for someone. You could be defending yourself. You could have to talk a lot, communicate a lot, negotiate a lot with the sword energy out here in order to fight for a situation, which probably you thought was unfair. So it could be that as well, some kind of definitely a fighter energy, a fight back energy, arguments. You could be going back and forth. This could also be, like I said, like a fighter, like, you could be in areas, but you have to defend, maybe for defense or city, law enforcement. All of those energies are also a part of the fighter energy. So a lot of, standing up, defense, guardian, and all of that also could be playing out. Those themes could be playing out for some of you Leos. Then I told you how Leo is the graceful giraffe. Further, it says growth, foresight, and vision. That's a cute giraffe, chewing away at some leaves. Further down below, it says heavenward-bound pillar. Heighten my awareness and intuition. Sorry, it's very lightly written against a dark backdrop. So But I'll read it again. Heavenward bound feller heighten my awareness and intuition. So yes, higher perspective. Giraffe is tall, the neck is tall. So there is definitely an energy of seeing, high level view. It's an elevated perspective, right? So for some of you, this is um, actually you're kind of tapping into your higher self. I feel in some situations you're tapping into your higher self and you're like, how should I react here? And I feel that everything that you are seeing, you have a better view than others, right? Better vantage point. So you see things in a different way, in a different perspective as compared to the rest of your peers. So I do feel you're coming from an elevated perspective. You can see things more clearly. Giraffe is also about long range. You know, how they walk, they take big steps. They're long range animals. So I do feel that for some of you, this could be about, reaching for something higher, like something which is going to go the distance, something which is long-term. Long-term perspective. It's not a short-term energy. Like, for example, if you are going to invest in a land, you're investing in places that are not really expensive, but you're doing it for the long term, like you want to hold it for 15, 20 years so that it grows, that kind of a vibe. And of course, the neck of it is higher, so rising above, like, tapping into your higher self. This is also an energy of rising above any situation, any difficult situation, any tricky situation. You're like, I don't want to be a part of this, kind of crazy. So I'm going to just rise above and I'm going to just, gracefully exit out of this or gracefully excuse myself out of the situation. So for some of you, it's that energy as well. Now, planetary retrogrades, Mercury is retrograding in Cancer, which is your 12th house. And 12th house is the house of, it's a Piscean house, of course, of spirituality, and Cancer being a Cancer. And your 12th house is Cancer, right? Which is also water sign. It's a cardinal water sign. Pisces is a mutable water sign. And that's your Mercury is retrograding. So there could be some kind of confusion around maybe spiritual beliefs. This is also an isolation energy of 12th house of retreating. So some of you might be planning to go to some lone islands or retreats. So check your schedules and dates and, payments and all of that, the flight schedules and all of that. If you are planning for any kind of retreats or visiting some kind of lonely islands or lonely place or wilderness place, if that's what you're doing. Now, because, Mercury retrograde is like some glitches in communication, in sending messages, in receiving messages. So the mind, and also a little bit of confusion around 12th house themes, which is spirituality, some belief system, or some travel to far off lands. So check your itinerary details and everything around that. I also feel that this is like, when you are at an elevated vantage point, you can see things far and wide. You can see what's coming. So this is also a future vision, a kind of prophecy, kind of vibe, like you can see what's coming from far, So some of you can probably have those intuitive abilities. That you're able to see, what's coming from far or what's coming in the near future and things like that. So some kind of a prophecy also could be, a thing, some kind of thing for you. Some of you could be also, Jupiter is in your house, is in your first house, for the Leo ascendants and rising. So this also could be, taking care of yourself, your growth and development through upscale courses, working on your personality. This can also be that you want to travel far and wide, something could be international travel. For some of you, it is international travel. So those themes could be coming up for you, Leos. This is also about growth. Jupiter is the planet of luck, so luck is on your side of growth, expansion. So you will see some kind of growth expansion, whether it's in your career or in your business. Maybe, things that you thought were not possible. For some of you, you're going to achieve those things that you thought are not possible. So it's also about taking long-term initiatives. Like, I'm getting an image of apple trees. A lot of apples on apple trees. So it's like you planted something like way long back. Now it has become an apple tree. And it is giving a huge harvest of apples. So it's the harvest time, but something was done way before. Or maybe you're starting something right now, and in the next few years, you're going to see that kind of a harvest. So for some of you, it could be starting new projects as well that are going to grow and expand in the future. Now, with the giraffe, I always associate towers, tower energy, not the tarot tower, but high-rise buildings, right? Those kind of high-rise buildings. So maybe you're in cities where you're seeing a lot of high-rise or newly coming up high-rise, or you could be living in high-rise or investing in high-rise or those kind of properties, land, or mountain, living on mountains, something that has a higher upper level view. So for some of you, that could be on the theme as well. Now, this is also a lot of growth energy with Jupiter. Jupiter being 9th house energy of higher learning. So definitely education or education-related initiatives or certifications or you teaching and mentoring also could be at the forefront for some of you. This is about, 9th house energy, right? Jupiter being in your sign. So some things around long-term growth, education, industry, mentoring, upskilling, and all of that. That will benefit you in time. In the next 5 years, we have those 5-year, 10-year plans, but something if you upskill and invest in yourself, you're going to get the benefits of it in a few years' time. So wood energy over here, Leo, definitely a lot of foresight. You're able to see things like, where do I invest? What do I do in the future? All those kind of things, visions are going to be very important for you. Awareness, heightened intuition, feeling your way through it, like, okay, I should invest in this, I should do this, that, and the next 10 years, it's going to pay off for me. So those themes are going to be important for you. And the last card for today, Leo, you have is a message from the fairies, and it says wisdom. Further, it says, have you ever been told that you're wise beyond your years? Now it is the time to call upon your inner fairy wisdom to help you with the challenge. This star is telling you it's time to call upon your own inner wisdom in order to help yourself at a challenging time, or perhaps someone you know could do with some insight into the situation. This wise fairy is accompanied by a white owl being a symbol of wisdom. She tells you it's time for you to trust your own knowing and remind you that wisdom doesn't only come with age. Wisdom is the ability to see the bigger picture, exactly the giraffe energy, right? So seeing foresight is the wisdom. So further it says, so fly silently like the owl. Owl is also wisdom. And hear and see everything before coming to a decision based on this wisdom. Being wise does not always mean you're right, but it does mean you have the ability to see into situations in a more impartial way than many others can, and for the highest good of all concerned. You all have access to inner wisdom, and pulling this card shows it's time for you to trust this fully. You could find yourself being asked for help or to facilitate a healing between 2 or more parties. This is where wisdom comes in. Allow your intuition to speak through the filter of wisdom, but always remember that others too have a choice and free will. So give loving advice, but not orders, as no one really likes being told what to do, including you. Yeah. So it's inner knowing, inner wisdom through the experience. Owl is a symbol of wisdom. So, yeah, this is a call to that inner wisdom for you, Leos. Those were your messages, Leo, and hope they resonated with you. Now moving on to the sign of Sagittarius. So the first card you have for today, Sagittarius, is the number 9, and this says karma. So this is major arcana in this deck, and it's a very interesting energy. It's in the upright for you. There's a reflective energy. You see the person up who's sitting in a meditative pose is also reflected below. And the left side of the person is colored and the right side is a little darker, right? So it's the good, the bad, the yin, the yang. Also a lot of reflection energy. What comes around, what goes around, that's what karma is, right? The result of our action consequences. If you put out right, then yeah, if you say the right things, do the right things, of course it's good karma accrued. And vice versa, right? If you don't do the right things, then of course it just accrues, and sometimes and the planets arrange themselves so that the scales are balanced out, so that you get a chance to fix things that were not done right. But here it's in the upright for you, which means that there is rewards out here waiting for the rewards out here that you have been waiting for. It's like you've been putting in a lot of work. There's been a lot of honest effort that you have put in for a long, long time. I feel this is like a long time coming. And, all those efforts that you have been putting in, I feel it's now the universe is trying to reward you, to balance out the scale, to reward you for the energy that you have put in. Because this is kind of related to the energy of Saturn, the planet of Saturn, which is a karmic planet. It's a taskmaster and also the planet of karma. So it's there in your fifth house, right, of creativity. Fifth house is the house of creativity, of children, of playfulness, and all of that. And there is Saturnian energy, the house of the planet of karma sitting in that house. And Jupiter is in Leo, which is your ninth house. Ninth house is the house of growth, expansion, luck, wisdom accrued through experiences. And I feel that those are the rewards that are coming towards you. Jupiter is rewarding you for all the efforts, all the energy that you have been putting out, the good energy, the generosity that you have been showing is now coming back to you here, Sagittarius. Another thing to be mindful of is Mercury, which is in retrograde. Whenever planets are in retrograde, there is a chance of glitches and misunderstandings and things being overlooked. Mercury is in the house of Cancer right now. It's retrograding in Cancer, which is your 8th house. 8th house is the house of shared finances, resources, debt, the payments, the debts, and all of that. So be mindful of the themes around shared finances, resources, paybacks, and anything that you have to pay out or something like that. Also, don't invest into things that you're not sure about, because there could be misunderstandings in regards to payments or money, where it's coming from, and things like that. So, of course, gambling is a no-no because karma, the major arcana, is here. Gambling is related to 8th house, so you don't invest much into that, or because it might backfire. And also, I feel that things, if there's any money that was spending that you did not receive, I feel now it's time for you to receive that. Maybe you loaned out or lent money to a friend, to someone. Now it's coming back to you. Because number 9, as I recall, number 9 is almost the end point, right? But numerologically, it's also a number of reflection. 9 is known as a mirror number because it mirrors a 6, right? So 9 is known as a mirror number. And that's what we see over here. There is a mirror, right? It's a reflection of the person above and below. So as above, so below is also the energy that I'm picking up. So I feel that there's a lot of balancing. If you have to pay out somebody, then pay it out. If you have to receive, you might be receiving from people and sources that you have been giving to. It's a time to close out accounts, whether it's in regards to people, situations, money, or anything. Any karmic balance that you feel you need to close out, or you need to pay back, or you need to apologize, or you need to do this, that, and the third, and the chapter is closed, the balance is closed, the karmic balance is closed, do that. All of that is going to really be rewarding for you right now. For some of you, this could be the energy that you put in the past, is now coming back to you, the good positive karma, whether it's volunteering or any generosity. It could be years ago that you did, could be showing up for you right now in positive ways. It's also a time to be very honest with how you do things, right? Because Saturn is watching. So if there is anything that you need to disclose, do it. Where it could be any kind of disclosure, right? Whether when you're traveling or whether you're buying a home, selling a home, whatever disclosure, selling items, businesses, starting a business, whatever that is for you. Disclosure is going to be very important. So don't hide things, be very honest. Also, this is a very reflective energy. So a lot of self-reflection, like, oh, I did this, I should have done this, or I can correct this. Or you could be just, analyzing, like, I said this, should I have said that, next time I won't do it. Those kind of course corrections also could be happening because you want to be fair and square. You don't want to, add any negative karma. You don't want to say wrong things. You don't want to do wrong things. So settling things, if you felt like you made a mistake in the past, it's a good time to, fix those and just close that chapter. Now, for those of you that have already done the work in the past now, because this is a very spiritually elevated energy, right? It's the higher order, the higher principle. It doesn't happen in a day. So you've been working in this energy or on this energy of karmic balances and fixing things. I feel you already have been doing it for some time. So for those of you that have done good things, it's a payback time for you. So, whatever good you did, you will receive it. Whether it's like, you loaned money to somebody, it's coming back to you. It could be that you win something, you win some kind of money. Also is possible because you loaned it out in the past. Or it could be people coming back and apologizing. It could be that as well, And it's because the karmic balances need to be balanced, right? So the karma needs to be balanced. So this could be around you, people around you that are coming to you, apologizing because the universe is sending them to you. So it's a time that if people are coming back to apologize and to make things right, then I feel that, receive the apology. And don't drag it on. Like, just close a chapter. Like, just forget about it. Just forgiveness. Just close out that chapter. Like, if you want to welcome them back into your lives, then don't rewind the past, the history, those things said and done, especially if you want to receive that person or you want to continue further. And if you feel that the person has no place in your life and you have moved on, then gently close the chapter, like without being harsh and brutal. Just be kind and just close out the chapter, giving out your reasons so that there is no a room for misunderstanding, and especially with the Mercury retrograding, explain yourself properly before you close up the chapter so that there is no room for any, any open threads or open chapters in the future. The next card you have, Sagittarius, for today is Palm Chameleon. I further says versatility, camouflage, agility. Further down it says, what does it say? It says careful creature cloaked in colors, careful creature cloaked in colors, bless my heart with peace and patience. Careful creature cloaked in colors, bless my heart with peace and patience. So, peace, if there is some kind of a turmoil, I feel that it's time to bring in the peace or for situations to change. I feel that if there are situations that are changing around you, Sagittarius, all you need to do is just adapt, It's like chameleon changes color according to environment, right? And environment, which means like if you're in a business place, you know exactly how to act, react, who to say, what to say, when to say, to whom to say. You know, it's also not a very fast-moving energy or an initiative or impulsive energy. It's like a sit back, watch, and then change your temperament or adapt according to how the people are acting, reacting, you know? So you don't have to go out of your way, bend backwards, or stick out like a sore thumb. So you just need to be flexible and, you know, be patient. And I feel that, you know, yeah, just be flexible, adaptable, and be patient, slow moving at this point in time. You just need to adjust your temperament, your pricing. You know, it's like people that are negotiating, you know, the salespeople, they're constantly in this energy. They read the room, they read the people, you know, and they're able to accommodate the prices, the deals, and all of that. And, you know, it's like instantaneous based on the people they interact with and, you know, who they're selling to. They know exactly what price point to flash to which kind of find and customer, right? So it's that kind of an energy. Also because major planets here, you know, Uranus and Mars are in Gemini right now, which is your 7th house. And that's the house of partnerships, of relations, you know, of connections. So Uranus is breakthrough energy. It's, you know, it's changing the status quo. So things are definitely shifting around partnerships, whether it's business, professional, social, you know, maybe in your neighborhood. So along the lines of people, you know, and Mars is there. So Mars brings in that spark energy, right? That fiery energy. And here red on the chameleon still also indicates that you need to control the temperature. You just ease out. You need to be agile in the sense that, you know, agile in the sense you should be able to adapt like fast to situations, you know, without losing it, without losing your temper. In a calm and gentle manner, chameleon is not a fiery energy at all. It just controls, even it's scared, you know, when it's fired up, it just changes the body color, you know. Yeah, so I feel that, you know, like if I'm thinking of an example, like for example, if your company is changing structure, right, changing team is changing and all of that, and they're asking people to pick up on new skills or new technology or else leave. So you're like, you're like, instead of being rigid, like, no, I'm not going to learn this technology enough of learning, then you will probably be out of the company. But if you're like, okay, you know what, the times are changing, I got to catch up. And you're like, okay, no matter what it takes, I'm just going to pick it up, even if it's slowly. Then that's the energy that's needed for you right now, Sagittarius. So adaptability to your company, the structure, whatever is going on, without drama, without losing it, adapt to it. For some of you, this could be like a family situation. Like, you know, for example, if you are throwing a party, right, and you're set up the backyard and all of that so beautifully, and suddenly, you know, either it rains unexpectedly, it rains, or you forgot to catch up on the weather and you set it up outside. Coolly, you'll just pack up everything outside and come and set it up inside, right, without any drama, without any fuss and things like that. You're like, oops, it's raining, so let's just shift inside. And nothing happens. Nobody minds it, you know? So it's that kind of an energy, like, you know, you change up the plans immediately without, I mean, you adjust according to the outside environment, temperature, the conditions, whether it's finances, whether it's an event, whether it's your personal life, whatever that is, you can switch up things fast and make the most of what's going on. Because in today's modern world, things are changing so fast, and people who are able to catch up with this and tap into the trends or make the most of what the tide is telling you, like people are buying this, so let's just tweak our product and sell it in this way, or people are not buying this, let's close this product and things like that, you know. Fast market adaptability, if you're in businesses that adjust with market rate and all of that, could be the themes for you. And right before this Sagittarius, you had the Karma card, right? Which is balancing out the scales. So exactly this is what you need to do. The chameleon energy is about being flexible, right? When people come or they talk to you or you have to talk or there's a changing temperature around people that you're communicating to balance the scales, you need to stay adaptable, you need to stay flexible, you need to stay calm, cool, collected. Be honest, but see it in a gentle way, and that will help you balance your karma. If there is any balance from your side, it'll help you balance it. If it's somebody else that's trying to balance their scales with you, this energy is going to help you move things faster in a better way. Also, if you see the eyes of the chameleon, they're famous, right, for rotating in different directions, for looking in two opposite directions. And symbolically, yeah, it's about looking to the past, one eye looking at the past, one eye looking in the future. It's that kind of an energy that the chameleon always like, one eye looks at the past, one in the future. So whatever you saw in the past, whatever you learned from your past mistakes, don't repeat it. It's something that you're going to be able to make those adjustments based on your past experiences, and so that you're able to move forward with calmness and honesty. And the last card for today's Sagittarius you have is a message from the fairies, and it says find balance. So exactly that's what we have been talking about, karma, balancing, even balancing your day-to-day, finding that balance in your work, between your work, your personal life, and the time for everything else. It says find the balance between your work, rest, and playtime, and you will have more energy, harmony, and productivity in your life. Take a power nap. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. You probably heard this before. Does it apply to you or someone you know? Are you working too hard and not allowing enough time for rest and play? Are you feeling bored, or are you in danger of becoming boring? Be truthful with yourself when answering. Even though fairies are known to be super hard workers, they also know how to rest and play. Fairies are flying in now to remind you to take a break and give your body and mind a well-deserved rest. You've been overworked, I feel, Sagittarius. Whether it says a problem with work is that once you have completed one task, there's always another waiting, a bit like housework. But even though it may feel as though you need to rush to get everything done, take some time out. Taking some time out can actually give you more energy to complete the task at hand. Fairies love to snooze, and they're telling you that 40 winks in the afternoon, also known as a power nap, could be beneficial for you. The strong message here is to get some rest. This card could also be saying that you are playing too much. Perhaps you're procrastinating where you're out to be working. You need to be really honest with yourself about this, as only you will know if you have the right balance of work, rest, and play in your life. Yeah, and it's going to be different for each one of you. This is going to be for self-reflection, analysis, and balancing things out for you. I mean, karma is there, balancing scales, balancing your life. All of those things are going to be at the forefront for you, Sagittarius. So those were your messages, and hope they resonated with you. So thank you guys for joining. Please subscribe and hit the like if you enjoyed the content, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye for now.